Good morning, everybody. Hey, how's it going? It's Matthew from Atomic Darts, and of course, this is Coffee and Darts, and I have got a great guest for us. This is episode 40, and of course, Jennifer Mounts was hoping to be on my 10th episode each time, but it didn't work out this time. Unfortunately, her spot got stolen. Sorry, Jen. But hey, I do want to take a quick second and thank everybody for watching the Coffee and Darts, and of course, watching Atomic Darts and the reviews. And I want to thank Shot Darts for being a supporter of Coffee and Darts, as well as Magicwear, where, of course, the wonderful jersey. You can still pre-order the jersey. That's going to end here soon. Run on over to atomicdarts.com and get yourself a jersey. Of course, check out shotdarts.com. They've got some cool new barrels coming out that I'll be reviewing in the next week, but they release in a couple of weeks here in September. But let's just get through all that formality stuff and bring on our guest, and we'll get into talking some darts. So let me welcome to the show. This is Tanner Picard. He is a current CDC, and I know I got to get away from that, Champion Darts Circuit card holder, and he played in Series 2. Hey, welcome to the show, Tanner.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you here. So you hail from Canada. What part of Canada?
I'm in Victoria Harbour, which is about an hour and 15 minutes north of Toronto.
Nice, nice. So do you like hockey? Just gotta ask.
Well, of course I do.
I have a really good friend who's from Canada. I think it's Ontario. I believe I'm sure he's mentioned, and I just never paid attention. But whenever USA plays Canada, it's a full-on, just fist cuffs with words.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. So let's talk darts. And real quick, the shirt you're wearing, can you just stand up just a little bit right there? Because I want to give a shout out to the White Horse. If you guys noticed the White Horse on his shirt, Tanner's recently sponsored, I believe, by White Horse. We'll talk a little bit about that. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on Tour Card with the Championship Darts Circuit. But how did you get into darts? You know, I mean, like, what brought you to darts?
It was actually when I was younger. My parents did play quite a bit of darts locally, nothing, competitive. And at a younger age, I decided that I wanted to be like them and throw darts. And it eventually evolved into playing in a league a few towns over for the last 10 years now. And it's just something I really enjoy.
Nice. So about how old were you when you got into darts? Was this like teenage years? Was it earlier? And competitive? What got you into the competitive space?
I was probably the 10 age when I decided I wanted to throw darts just for fun because the parents were doing it. Competitively, I would actually say it was just last year. Our league a few towns over is not a competitive league. It is more of a have fun with people, drink, and I don't know. It's competitively a full year.
Okay. So you're playing competitively for a full year. You've got a tour card for the Championship Darts Circuit. Let's be honest. Like, I've been playing darts for a while. I got no close. I'm like tour cards like way in the distance of like my son. I live through him, hoping that he'll get some kind of tour card. That's my dream in life anyway, is for that to happen. Like, seriously, I mean, there's got to have been a competitive nature that's drawn you to this.
Yes. It was actually our Legion darts, our Royal Canadian Legion here, I went to our provincials, which is the highest rank for the province. And that is actually where I'd met Jim Long. And he told me about this circuit. I thought, okay, I've never heard of this circuit before. And he told me his story about his trip to England and, all that stuff. So then I started YouTubing everything. Started using social media to figure out who's doing what and how they're doing it. And The wife was a really big push into doing it, because in the back of my mind it was, yes, I'm a good dart player, but I'm not going to be world champion next summer type thing. And she pushed me into going to the Canadian shoot in Waterdown, and I ended up making it through the qualifiers to get to the main event. Now that is an accomplishment that I was really proud of. But holy cow, when you come through the qualifiers, you play the top 16 in North America. That is a really big awakening for darts. That's when it hit me that I need to practice and I want to do it. It was awesome. I was hooked.
Very cool. So your wife saw Rob Cross win the world championship and said, "My husband can do that." I'll give him 3 years.
Absolutely, she did.
Okay, nice. So we thank your wife for pushing you. That's awesome. So you've competitively been playing for a few years, but really within the championship start circuit, it's been a year. How has that been? I know there was live tournaments. Live tournaments went away, and you played in the Series 2. Series 3 is going on. I guess your number to get picked in regards to that, because I assume there's a number of tour cards out there, and they've got a limit because it's there's only so much virtual space, I guess. I don't know. But you played in Series 2. What's it been like playing in the championship dart circuit? I got to get that right. Did you play when it was live and then coming into virtual? What's the change been like?
The change for the biggest part is the pace. And that is actually a really difficult thing for myself, because I do tend to take my time when I throw. And then you come on to the virtual darts, and you're saying your score and typing it in before I pull my dart. So if there's any, was that really in, I can still show afterwards before I pull them score in. And a lot of the times when you pull the darts out, their second or third dart is already going into the board. So now you have that mindset where, holy cow, they already shot. You got to get to the line and do your shot. You really have to try to pace yourself, and that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I play in a league, not in any capacity where you're at, and that was the big challenge for me, was slowing the pace, because I would walk up to retrieve my darts and I'm putting my score in, and I would walk back, I'd look at my monitor, and the other players already thrown all 3 darts, and I'm like, well, wait a second. Like, did you?
Well, normally you have that him going to the board, grabbing his darts in your way, so you can't. But now that they're not there, it is very fast paced, and I generally like to throw slower, so it was a big effect. You tell yourself all you want, slow down, but it always comes up quicker.
So as this evolves, this virtual thing, we might need to add some kind of timer or ticker, because literally I don't know if the guy I'm playing with physically put his darts in the board. There's no way for me to know, and I'm not in a live situation like you guys where someone would see that. But do you think that would be a good element to add, just some kind of like a 3-second kind of timer, ticker, or something where people have?
You know what? Absolutely, I would agree with that. That would actually be a good suggestion for it. Even if it's Dart Connect to hold off before you actually see the scores. Something, because generally I will wait until the score comes up on the Dart Connect. That way I know they're not going to interrupt my throw by going, oh, I pushed the wrong number while I'm throwing.
Yeah, and I do that as well. Like with Darts Connect, it flips color. Like it'll turn white. The background will turn white, and that's your turn to throw. So I think that element's kind of there. We just need to get moderators and refs or whoever's watching to help slow the pace slightly. You don't want to slow it too much, but it needs to be more realistic, as if you're walking the hockey, retrieving your darts, and getting out of the way.
Yeah.
So, Gerwin Price isn't hitting you in the head or slicing through your hair like may have happened during a tournament last year.
May have seen that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess for him it would be great because he could just throw like 9 darts while you're still doing 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, well, that's interesting, and hopefully someone from Championship Darts will see this or hear this, or someone will let them know. But that could be, as this evolves, we need to get better at what we do. So, playing physically out there with the guys, I mean, who was one of your favorite matches you played with? Who was one of the guys, that you were like, oh my gosh, I get to play him, or he's been someone I've watched? Any stories like that?
Yes and no. The one player that I've kind of wanted to play was Jim Long, and I haven't had the opportunity yet. But on the accomplishment side, I do believe it was the second weekend that I made it to the championship dart circuit in Chicago. And I made it through the qualifier again, and I had to play Darren Young on the very first shoot. And now I call it an accomplishment. I did end up losing the match, but it was a 5-4 final. And it come up to him and I playing, and my wife sitting behind me, silently rooting. And Darren went up 2-0. I thought, okay, he's not missing. This is going to be tough. Get together. And then I ended up taking out 300-plus finishes to go up 3-2.
Nice.
And then he tied it up 3-3. I went up 4-3. He tied it up. And on the last shot, I did end up missing my double on 112 out. And then he took his number out for the win. Now, the accomplishment part of it is, at the beginning of the match, there was nobody behind us. Halfway through the match, there was now 50 people behind, and that's when it kind of hit me like, oh, everybody's here to see Darren Young, play. And so I keep my head down, I stare at my darts, I go up, I shoot, I'm throwing. The one time I did look up, I had about 4 people standing there going, thumbs up, you can do this, you can do this. I'm like, man, like these people are actually cheering for like both of us, not just him. I'm like, this is really cool. And that was an accomplishment to myself.
Well, it's, most people lose to Darren Young. So the fact that you took a few legs from him is awesome. He's actually going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, and just a really good guy. But that's awesome. And being an underdog isn't always the worst thing. You get people behind you. But so since then, how's it been? Do people know you a little bit more now that you've kind of at least nudged one of the old dogs? Sorry, Darren, but I mean,
yeah, it has been a little bit of an impact. Again, being at 3 of the shoots last year, you get to know the people who are there. You get to know, great people. And when it comes down to it, yes, people go, oh, like you're the one that played Darren that night. You almost had him, and it's especially going through the qualifiers still at that time and the next shoots after doing that, it almost put that, man, he's good. He almost beat Darren, where that actually helped me because even if I didn't do as good, they were worried.
Yeah. Well, and that's darts. That's the MVG. That's the mystique. So, and I mean, getting ton plus outs. 3 in a row. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment for any darts player.
It was, yeah.
And then to be able to do it against Darren, which the nerves have got to be there. That's awesome. That shows your talent. I of course didn't see that particular. Now I wish I had. Do you know if it's out there? Is it something that's on video or?
It's not on the live stream. It was on the sideboards during a normal shoot, and I do have to say that Darren was phenomenal even after the fact. He told me, he's like, man, he says, I really thought you were going to win that with that last shot. You're a really good dart player. Don't ever quit. I can't say anything bad about you. And then when he ended up doing the interview after the finals, of course, the championship darts commentator, I think it was Anthony Eugenia then, said to him, like you had a tough match, very first round, and Darren had nothing but nice things to say. And it's one of those things where like you respect them, they all respect you back.
Yeah,
it's really nice there.
And I'll say that's again, and I say this pretty much consistently. It's the joy of our sport is it's all inclusive. It's all inclusive, and there are some hiccups. There are some prejudices that will happen within any area, but for the most part, it's completely all inclusive, and it should be. It should be that way. And by the way, how's the coffee? Is it
wonderful?
Good. Yeah, I'll have to send you some coffee once we get it out. We're in the process of coming out with coffee for Coffee and Darts. It's a weird thing that we would have our own, but I'll send you some so you can have some quality.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
So let's talk. So I do want to ask you who you would, besides Jim Long, if there was a player, let's say current player, and then let's go back in history. Who would be and you can't use Jim Long because he fits both markets. I'm gonna hear that one, I'm sure. Oh
yeah, you are.
And by the way, something that you might want to do is get your wife a digital camera, have her film these things so we can see you beating up on someone, like Darren Young. That would be awesome. But who would be a current player that you would love to play, and who would be a past player?
A current player, I would actually have to say Nathan Aspinall.
Okay.
I really like the way he is, his darts. I'm really rooting for him in this top 4 right now.
Yeah.
Past darts, I almost would have to go with like Bobby George. Someone who's just wild and out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge Bobby George fan. I just love his charisma. And I'm a little crazy. If you've ever seen any of my videos, I love the dress up and the fun and his flair. Yeah. I think that would be. I want to see him, Martle, and Gerwin Price play together on a team. I think it'd be fun.
That would be pretty wild.
Pretty wild. So yeah, those are great. I mean, those are great picks. I can't nudge them, judge them, or anything. Of course, they're your picks, so I couldn't do that anyway. But do you think you're ever going to shoot for a PDC tour card? Is that in the back of your mind?
That is a very tough question to answer. Would I love to? Absolutely. Is it going to happen? That is a very tough question to answer. It's a long travel, and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if you know Dawson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys are in communication or anything, he can certainly speak to what it's like. And you're married, he's not, so I mean that changes the dynamics of any of that stuff. But I think it would be awesome to see some more North American firepower in the PDC. That's my dream and my hope. So my kid is my future in that. I'm never going to do it. And Nathan Aspinall, I do want to come back to that because you like to play him. He's just geez Louise, he's on fire. He's playing with passion and grit. Honestly, he reminds me of MVG 6-8 years ago. That's that he wants to dominate. It's pretty awesome. So that's a great pick of someone to play. So now that we're doing the virtuals, I'm going to kind of switch this in here. We're doing the virtual stuff. And real quick, let's give a shout out to Whitehorse, your sponsor. Can you talk a little bit about that? How did that come about? What was that like?
That was actually the biggest accomplishment in my darts. Obviously, everybody's looking for a sponsor and stuff like that. And I got into all these online tournaments, and it was actually Will Stewart who I played, and he asked about streaming our match. And I didn't understand actually what he was talking about. and something went wrong and he couldn't stream it. So I was like, okay, well, after our match, he's like, man, that was great shooting. He's like, I really like to get you on like a live stream. I said, oh. I said, you were trying to live stream our match? He said, yes. He goes, would you come on another time? And I said, you know what? Absolutely. Why not? I'd love to get my name out there. And that's where it all began. I went on his live stream. We talked through Messenger. I don't even know where I'm going.
We're getting to the White Horse connection.
Yeah. Okay. Will had actually mentioned White Horse for a sponsor, and I thought, okay, so I Googled what White Horse was. They're an apparel company. I thought, man, like, okay. I sent in my sponsor sheet that actually Will had sent to me, and then Pat at White Horse did get back to me, and we talked on the phone for a good hour and a half, 2 hours, just random things, seeing who I am, what I'm like. And he did agree to do the sponsorship for me. And again, I couldn't be more happy. The jersey is phenomenal. Material's great. I can't say anything bad whatsoever. I'm still in contact with them, even though we're not talking about just dart stuff. It's like a big family. We're in a group of sponsored players, and everybody's cheering everybody on, and it's really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the guys over at White Horse. So I'm stoked for you. I'm happy for you. Congratulations on that. And of course,
thank you.
Will Stewart, he's a friend of our channel and the show, and I know Will personally. At least we've had some streams. Like, I don't physically know him, but I know him virtually.
Yeah.
He's a Chiefs fan, so I like him a lot. He's a great guy. He really is a good guy, and he turned us on kind of. Like, he said that you should come on the show, and I harassed you last week.
Yeah.
You agreed to do the show. Let's talk a little bit about like social media. And you and I were talking about this a little bit before, and I don't want to pick on you in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But with virtual being the thing, and this is kind of, it's almost a soapbox that I want to stand on, is the helping of players understand social media. I've been playing in the realm for a while. I have some understanding. I'm not the guru by any means, but social media. Is this something that you're planning on pushing more? I noticed that there wasn't a lot of social media about darts. We'll talk about what there's a lot of social media about in just a minute, and it has to do with the bat. But what's your plans? Are you looking into doing more of that? Are you thinking about having someone help out? What's that picture look like?
Well, social media has been obviously a big help for myself, because I wouldn't have met the people that I have met. They wouldn't be able to share what I've shared. With it being all social media, people can actually watch who didn't watch before. And now they're gaining interest in what I'm doing or what any other dart player is doing. Again, with the social media, you also have messengers where people can message you after you've already played a game against them. You can do practice runs with them. I've actually become a good friend with Carl O'Kane from Northern Ireland, and him and I practice pretty much 4 times a week. And if it wasn't for all this social media, we wouldn't have even met.
Nice. So speaking of social media, and since we're streaming this on a couple of platforms, if anybody has a question, for Tanner, why don't you just ask it? I mean, that's what we're here for. It's the interactive piece. So we're on social media. So if you guys have a question for Tanner, go ahead and post those. Don't forget to like and share, thumbs up, all that stuff. But Tanner, I want to get into this a little bit because I noticed this on your page, and I'm sure you want to talk a little bit about it. Let's talk about a bat and a softball. I know this is darts, but hey, it's a passion for you. I could tell. what's I mean, you're playing softball. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Absolutely. I'm okay with that. I've been playing since I was 4 years old. It is great sport. Do a lot of same thing even with darts. There's provincials and big tournaments that we always go to, and it's wonderful. Again, you meet tons of people, great people. There's nothing bad about it.
Cool. So do you ever worry about, well, I guess right now you're not playing softball because we're in the quarantine thing, which kind of sucks. I guess you can do virtual, and that would be like on a video game series. When the doors open back up, will there be a concern in your mind when you're playing softball? Hey, I can't hurt this hand. I can't, I gotta protect this part of me because of the darts. Is this going to be a conflict?
Yes.
Okay.
Before this pandemic hit, after getting my tour card in January, I actually told my teams that I am sorry, darts is going to be number one. I'm probably not going to be playing baseball at all this year.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's commitment. That's serious commitment.
It really is.
Yeah. Well, there's the beauty of both sports is you can go back and forth. It's an ageless wonder of a sport. Yeah. So I do have a question here from your friend Will Stewart, and he wants to know if you lost a battle with the Clippers.
Oh, no, I didn't. I won it because it looks stellar.
It's sleek. It makes, everything at the hockey look that much better.
I mean, there might be a few sticking up here, but,
No, it looks good. I didn't have an issue with it. I guess Will's, I think Will's jealous. I think it's
maybe.
It could be. All right, so Michael Holdman, who is a super fan. I love this guy. He and I played darts virtually. He's in New York. You should play this. His outs ability are incredible. You guys should connect on Facebook. He's deadly when it comes to that outer ring. But he says, are there dart shops near you in Victoria Harbor, or do you get your equipment online?
There is actually nothing close. I have to drive 45 minutes to get to an actual dart shop. I did make the change approximately a month ago, and I actually did get some L-style stuff from Jim Long and Smurf Darts, Randy Moffat at Smurf Darts, and they sent it up next day, and I started using it. And so to answer that question, I am now probably going to be ordering stuff.
Nice. Real quick, and just out of curiosity, if there was a barrel manufacturer you could work with, and remember, Shot is a sponsor here, just throwing that out there. Who would you, if right now, from this interview, if someone saw this and they wanted to reach out to you, who would be a barrel manufacturer, or do you care?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I honestly have no idea. I do not have any preferred set. Again, the darts I use are hammerheads, and that is from the store that is the 45 minutes away.
Okay.
I don't have a preferred.
Is it the Bottleson hammerhead, or I think there's someone else that makes just a hammerhead?
Honestly, again, I don't know. They are literally called Hammerhead is the name of the product. That's their name.
Okay. Cool. So that's an option for you. So we could find you a barrel sponsor. Just putting that out there. I know that there are barrel manufacturers that are always looking for up and coming players to add to their stable. Shot Darts. Just saying. If you guys see this, here's a great Canadian player to get some North American blood into your stable. So sorry, I got to give a push on them. And besides, I love Absolutely. I have a barrel being made by Shot. I'll have to send you one. It's kind of a hybrid. The front end is very much like the Nathan Aspinall.
Okay.
It's kind of got that flare, and then the back end. Best way to describe it is it's similar to what Gary Anderson's playing now. It's the warrior, kind of the warrior back end that Shot does, but it's very similar to what he's doing. Maybe I can get you to play my barrels, and I'll sponsor you with coffee. So, hey, we got some more questions coming in here. Let's see here. Bullseye and Brewskis, which is a new YouTube channel. Love these guys. It says, hello, Tanner. My question is, do you feel, as the quarantine continues, do you feel online league and venues will grow? Do you think this is going to become a two-headed sport?
Absolutely, it will. There's been a lot of players that even I've played or I've watched played on streams that are now have their names, including myself.
Yeah,
which nobody knew about before because they only did local stuff.
Yeah, I think the virtual sport is here. I think this venue, this type, I think we're going to see both. We're going to have virtual tournaments, and the nice thing with the virtual tournament is you're going to be able to include, you could have massive worldwide, which there actually is one currently going on that anybody in the world can enter into this particular virtual tournament. So I like the aspect of it. You're gonna have virtual stars. You're gonna have darts influencers that are virtual stars, and then you're gonna have your pros. I can also envision down the road the bickering that'll happen because you'll have your PDC players who are like, oh no, we're better than that. That whole aspect. So it's gonna be fun. It'll be fun.
Well, the good thing with the virtual is that you don't have that pressure of people watching you, where people can do it comfortably from their homes. So, they might do better in a virtual match than they would because it'd be all nervous at the hockey in a venue.
Yeah.
So I do think the online is going to expand even more, yes.
I think so too. And I think we're going to have online stars. And I think we're going to have, the in-person stars. We're going to have both of those.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So you didn't pick a particular barrel manufacturer. Totally understand that. Is there any other aspect? I mean, have you looked at particular pieces that, and apparently L-Style. Now, and I like L-Style. L-Style is a good product. I think you just need to find your niche product, what you like. Are you like, okay, here's my big question, because I want a darts player to do this. Do you want a shoe manufacturer to sponsor you?
I mean, why not? that would be wonderful, yes. A lot of the times, though, in shoots, you do have to wear dress shoes. Now, most places, yes, you could wear a black sneaker, and that's fine. But, yeah, no, that would be really cool.
So I think that's a good question, because I would love to have the darts flip-flop and play in flip-flop.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not OSHA approved. There's something about a dart landing on your foot. What is the dress code? Like, when you physically go play, I don't think people realize that there really is a dress code, and a lot of PDC players break dress code. Peter Wright technically breaks dress code with his get-up, but the PDC is not going to stop that. Heck no. But
well, it's an attraction now.
Yeah, it's part of the show. But what is the dress code? I mean, what, do you show up in shorts? I mean, are there no show? I mean, what's the deal?
You can't have open-toed, like you said, your flip-flops. I'm sorry. I mean, it is definitely more comfortable, but no, you do have to have dress shoes or a black or straight white sneaker, dress pants, and you must have a collared shirt.
Is a pop collar okay, or does it have to be a collar like this?
I haven't seen anybody with a pop collar, and I haven't personally done it, so I don't know. I mean, if the collar's there, the collar's there, right?
Yeah, I think Bobby George had that like 8-inch pop collar.
Yeah.
Throw it, but so you gotta have collared shirt, you gotta have pants, and you gotta have
dress pants.
Dress pants.
Yes.
No jeans, guys. And you have to have dress shoes or a black sneaker that's been okayed. You can't have other fun colors and stuff in it, unless you're Peter Wright. I mean, if you're Peter Wright, you can pretty much do what you want.
Then you can do whatever you want.
If you're weighty, you can get away with the brown loafer or that brown shoe that he does. I still think. I mean, this is another one of my soapbox. I got a lot of them. I'm very clean because I got a lot of soap. I still think a shoe manufacturer needs to jump into the market because the feet are and socks. Let's get a sock manufacturer out there. I could sell every part of your body. That's kind of how it goes. But here's another question real quick. This comes again from Michael. He says, against Matt Campbell last month on Quarantine Darts, I noticed that you played with 2 blue flights and 1 green. Is playing with an odd flight a preference?
Yes. I wouldn't quite call this superstition, but it really is. I always have 2 of the same, 1 different. Right now they're actually 2 red and 1 white. I went with the Canadian colors, right? Yeah. And yes, to answer another question that's probably going to be asked to follow up that, I do throw them in order.
That was my question.
1 red, like whatever my double is. Right now it's 2 red and white, so it goes red, white, red every time.
Nice. So, some consistency. You need that. That kind of settles things down. And might be a little crazy superstitious, but that's okay. I mean, you've got a tour card. I don't, so. I tell you.
You're going to let me have that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's yours, man. That's all yours. Folded flight or molded flight?
Molded now.
Okay. Molded, yeah. L style. Okay.
Yeah.
They do have a punch, though, so that you can do folded flights. They have the L-lock punch, and then you can actually punch the flight and put a folded flight on. So
I did use the folded flight before these, and they were almost a fabric. They were a poly nylon, I think.
Yep.
They're more sturdy than the plastic ones, but they still didn't hold their shape to that full 90 degrees on each corner. They end up folding just like a normal flight would, and so when I had the opportunity to try this L style, I went for it and I truly enjoy it. They're fantastic flights.
I agree. I like the molded flights, and I've seen, of course, some pro players on the PDC side. When you get into soft tip and everything, you see a lot of molded flights. On the PDC side, we're seeing more and more than played. We're seeing Peter Wright. One day they have him, one day he doesn't have. But it's Peter; he's all over the place. But we are seeing more players get into them. I like them. I mean, I
do as well.
Yeah. Soft tip or steel tip, or both?
I've never done soft tip in my life.
I've
never done. It is not a thing here in Canada. There's like one place where you can go do soft tip, which is an hour from here, and other than that, unless you buy the Grand Board or the Nexus, there's nothing here.
See, we need to fix that. We need to infiltrate Canada with our soft tip as Americans. So is it just 0-1 games for you? Which that drives me nuts. It's a 0. It's not a letter. It's not an O. So 0-1 games, or do you play some cricket occasionally?
Nope. They're actually, for our Darts Ontario, it is straight in double out, all 501. 501, sorry, Matt. And then with our Legion Darts, it is actually 501, double in, double out.
Okay.
There's nothing cricket competitive-wise. If you want to play cricket, you have a buddy over and throw cricket.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever just play?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is not only is it a fun game, but it is practicing hitting the triples and the singles of the big numbers that you want to hit.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's kind of kind of part of the concept behind cricket. You know, in its conception was working the numbers, the bigger numbers. And people have to remember, darts back in the day, 180s were not a common thing. You know, it's, you know, so hitting triples, just hitting one, you were like, yeah. I mean, you would do the Wayne Mardle if you hit a triple 20. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about with the Wayne Mardle, look him up on YouTube. You'll understand when he hits a 180. He's one of my favorite darts players. I want him on the show. He's one of my favorite darts players. I do want to ask a little bit more, but this question came in on this one. I'm curious about this. Are you allowed to wear sleeves? And I think he's referring to the practice sleeve, or maybe it's sleeves as a whole. Can you do either or?
Okay, as a shirt sleeve, not positive. I do believe I have seen some people wear the compression sleeves.
Yeah.
So I do think that is okay.
I know I've seen it on PDC, and I've seen it over in Asia and other places, so I would assume it would make sense. I can't see why you would play with a full sleeve shirt just because you're extending your arm.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to have it unbuttoned. It would look very unruly if you were to do that. And uncomfortable, I would think.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Especially when some places, you know, if it starts getting warm, now you're wearing a long sleeve and you're trying to roll them up, and I am a play in the cold type. I mean, I am from Northern Ontario.
I'm there with you. I'd rather be there because like a long sleeve, I can imagine sweat collecting down in your you be ugly. So practice. We talked a little bit about using cricket as practice. Do you have a particular practice routine you like? Do you practice daily? What's one of your favorite practice games?
One of my favorite practices is actually 121. And of course, until last year, I always played it as you hit 121, you move up one, move up one, move up one, you miss, well, then you go back down to the 121. And it was actually in Chicago. Jim Long asked me to play 121 with him, so I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. We're in a bar in Chicago in the middle of the night, just doing a little tournament they were hosting. And he went, and of course, went triple 20, 11 bull. He goes, all right, 126. I went, 126? I said, what happened to the 122, 3, 4? Like, and he went, oh, no. If we hit it, we go up 5, but if we miss it, we go down 1. I was like, okay, what's behind that theory? And he says, well, you're not just practicing the 120s over and over and over. You're practicing all the way up to 200 and 300, trying to hit it with 9 darts. Hopefully, you get to that 501 and hit it in 9.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I have so much to learn from you guys.
It's a different level of play, for sure. For sure. So do you have a practice routine? Do you practice daily? I know there's some players that practice, like, they say 3 hours a day, but they break it up. Anything like that?
Yes, I do normally do basically that. 3 hours a day, 1 hour, take a break, have lunch, whatever, do another hour. And that way, again, I've picked up a practice partner from Northern Ireland, Carl O'Kane, and we started out doing, like best of 9. Well, then we kind of realized that a lot of these tournaments, when you start getting deeper in, you got to do best of 15. You have to do best of 21, best of this. So, we did a best of 49 and a bunch of best of 29s. When he's not available, a lot of Bob's 27. I did find that I was struggling a little bit with hitting the doubles at one time a few months ago. And I sat there probably 3 hours a day, almost straight, playing Bob's 27 so I could hit these doubles. And it's actually been a huge help.
Nice. Do you ever do like around the world as fast as possible, anything like that?
Not recently, no.
So I have fun with that one just to see, like, I time myself to see if I get better at it. But that's a personal preference, I guess. there's Mrs. Atomic. She had to chime in. My wife, we have a water tank in our garage, and my wife will run it whenever I'm on the show. And of course, Michael's going to make a comment here shortly about it. It's just the way it goes. Do you ever like use practice aids? Like I know there's the rings that Snakebite has, then, and of course, why am I blanking on his name? That's horrible. He's from Australia, and I love him, and I'm blanking on his name. But there's the rings that are out there.
Whitlock?
Whitlock, thank you. He has, and I like the Whitlock rings better. Sorry, Peter, I know I'm a huge fan, but I like the Whitlock rings better. I don't know why. But have you ever played with anything like that?
I have not. Well, I guess not like rings or anything. The one thing that I did purchase was a right sight board. And that is on the floor. I mean, I don't use it now because, I mean, I've thrown so much at my board, I know where to put my toe on my own hockey, right? But it really shows you how off you are. And I was actually really impressed at how much that helped me a year ago.
Yeah. I purchased one and I had to pay for it to come over from Europe, and it cost me as much to ship it as much as the board. But I agree with you. It's and I've seen people try and make their own. I tried to do it. You know what? Just buy it. One, you're helping out the store. Two, you're helping out Win More. But at the same time, it's a functional training tool for sure.
Yeah, it really is.
So here's a challenge I have for you, and my son loves to play this game. I did a video of it kind of more as a joke, but we take Cheerios and we take little nails and we post it in different areas on the board, and we throw darts at the Cheerios to see them explode. Like that's his big thing. And he's
actually a pretty cool idea.
He's pretty good at hitting the Cheerios, and he's 6. But that's his I'll set up a camera and we'll record the whole time, and then we'll play that in slow motion, and we'll see the Cheerio explode.
Yeah.
He calls it the Cheerio Challenge, and he has asked me to ask everybody I talk to try the Cheerio Challenge. So
I'm down. That sounds awesome. The only thing that doesn't sound good about that is I'm gonna have to clean up after.
I have little bits of cereal all over the place because we play that often. So.
Yeah, no, I would definitely accept his challenge. I will post that.
Okay, he'll love it. So he wants to do it on the soft tip, and I'm like, I can't put Cheerios on the board, buddy. It's gonna have to be on the board.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, steel tip's the way to go.
He beat me. Okay, if he's watching, I got to give him some serious props here. The other day, I did this thing called Darts with Caitlin and Dylan because my daughter, she likes to play with my son. I'm like literally, they're my claim to fame when they get older. He has beat me now 27 times, and he beat me twice in a row this past, Saturday we played. I'm like, crap. He's beat me with a 150 out. I was like, it was
nice.
26 times. Thank you, Michael. Yes, 26 times. people are literally keeping track of how many times my son beats me. But he's a blast to play with, so it's fun. And I didn't even ask this, and I didn't stalk you enough on social media. Do you and your wife have kids?
Yes, three of them. Nice. One is going to be 16 in October. Sorry. One is a boy and a daughter who is turning 13 in October, and another son who just turned 8 in July.
Nice. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. They're not quite into the darts. I don't push it on them. I don't, I'll do my thing if they want to come down and throw, which they do sometimes. It is good.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, and they support dad playing darts, and that's a good thing. That's needed, certainly needed. And your wife supports you, so it sounds like there's it's a good family nucleus into the darts. You're ready to make the move to the PDC and take that world championship. I think you're there.
I mean, I would really love to. I would really love to. You know what? The biggest thing would be is trying to hold your nerves being in the UK. You know, especially like Ali Pally at William Hill. Like that would be a dream just to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, just to visit would be exceptional.
Oh yeah, absolutely too.
I could just go watch, the craze of the tournament there. It's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about the championship dart circuit because it's still going on. Series 3 is happening right now, which unfortunately you're not in Series 3. Is there a projection for future series? And I know they're going back to live darts. Guys, live darts is coming back soon. Do they send out an invite to everybody, or is it specific people? Is this something that's happened? I mean, do you know much about what's going on for the live darts?
Not a whole lot. I do know that on September 26th and 27th, they are doing a live event in Ontario to determine the World Cup and World Championship players.
Nice.
I don't know if anything's going to happen after that. I mean, to get this in is actually really lucky. I do plan on going. I do want to throw my all at it. As for like the virtual, who knows what's going to happen with the virtual? I do believe that the championship darts is going to continue getting in series, and maybe they'll do an online finals for like all the players. They do have the let me think what's called championship darts tournament series, I think. Where they just had one that Matt Campbell won 2 weeks ago. They have another one on September 19th, I believe. Yes, and that is for the tour card holders as well.
I'm checking real quick. So you're gonna do the physical thing, trying to progress in that and potentially win, which that's the beauty again of sports and darts and live darts. Anybody can win. I mean, we've seen that time and time again. So good luck to you.
Thank you. And yes, I do plan on going.
So, and winning.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, okay, of course. Well, you're not playing to win. Why are you there? It's kind of the...
Exactly. It's going to be a big tournament because from what I understand, it is 4 main events on one weekend.
Wow.
There's going to be a lot of darts being played.
That's crazy. I don't see anything on their website specifically just yet. I'm assuming something will be thrown up here shortly. I know that I saw a post on social about it on Facebook. So and this is just my theory, understanding, or how I can see it playing out, and I'm curious your opinion. When we get back to live darts, of course, you as a tour card holder, that's where you want to be. You want to be with the guys playing, with the girls playing, with whoever it is. But we've got this virtual aspect now. Do you see virtual potentially? I think we're going to have virtual stars because, like you said, people are not going to want to go physically out and be around. They're shy people that play really good cards. But do we see that as maybe a training ground for people that are going to come get their tour cards, so that they fracture it that way?
Absolutely, I think so. That's a lot of good dart players who are not actually going to these big events, who are playing in the online ones, realizing that, yes, they can compete. Yes, this is going to be a fun time. And you're going to see a lot more players come out playing darts in big competitions because of the online darts.
Nice. I hope so. I mean, I hope that we've used this quarantine and all this other stuff to the benefit of darts. I really hope that people, I know from talking with darts manufacturers and suppliers that product disappeared for a while. which means a lot more people are playing darts.
Yeah.
So, hopefully it does pick up. Do you have any concerns about cheating with the online aspect of it?
It is always in the back of your mind that something could be happening that you don't see. The way I look at it is if you're cheating yourself. You're not bettering yourself by doing that. I don't feel that I've actually been cheated before on these online darts. Like, everything has been run pretty smoothly. My setup is my tablet is the video camera, or my phone is the video camera, and I have my tablet for Dart Connect, and then I have a TV next mirroring my tablet so that they're on a 42-inch screen as I'm watching. So, like, I can physically see it. If something is off, I can say, hey, don't pull your darts. I haven't actually had to do that. It's all been really good. A lot of people show darts before pulling them, which is the best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how somebody could stand 3 feet from the board and hit good scores. I mean, I stand at the line and I practice to be able to get the scores I'm getting. I've tried to throw from that 3-foot mark, and aiming for a triple 20, I'm hitting above the double 20. I'm thinking, if you can hit a triple 20 that close consistently, you've sat at that line and practiced hours on day to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Why not just go to the line and practice like you should?
Yeah, and I had a theory once and I tried this just to see if it would work. I stood closer, trying to hit it, figuring, okay, if I could do it from 3 feet, then I would step back another foot, and to learn how. And honestly, it doesn't work. That theory got blown out of the water. You can't. You're going to spend way more time trying to become consistent stepping back than just going to the hockey and throwing.
Yeah. So then again, when live darts do come back into play, are you going to go to those events and try to play even though you practice so much from so close and you aren't going to be able to do anything?
Yeah, that's the truth. So what I'm hoping to see with the championship dart circuit and some of these, as this online play grows and becomes, we've talked about maybe some kind of ticker or something to help with the pace of play, to at least slow it a little, which is interesting that we say that. Normally it's speed it up. But I think they should do 2 camera angles. And I understand that a lot of guys are using their phone and different things, because right now it's still, we're beta testing this. But I think the championship dart circuit is going to need to supply, or those that are playing it are going to have to prove that they've got 2 cameras, one for the board and one for them. Plus, it gives us the interaction with the player.
For the interaction fact, yes, that is a great idea. A lot of people, have their camera, and myself included, wouldn't even know how to set up 2 cameras. Like, do I have to have a computer to do that? Do I have to have just a tablet and it can do both somehow? Honestly, I don't know. And I think that's the big factor, that it hasn't come out yet.
And that's what the championship dart circuit, or whoever creates these realms, these things, are going to have to teach, educate, or provide the right materials. But if you've only got, say, 50-some players that are tour players for something like this, where we're talking money's on the line. Maybe providing those materials makes a lot of sense. I know there's a cost to it, but just for fair play, maybe that's what you do. And then those that want to earn their way into it, they can do more of that self-paced thing, because once you get to that real play, you're going to have to prove it. And if you've been cheating or faking it, everybody's going to know.
Yes.
So,
as for them to supply it, I mean, I wouldn't expect that, because, I mean, you buy your own darts to go play. Well, if you want to play in the series, well then, sorry, but get the right cameras and play.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you to the degree that it makes sense that they should say, here's the parameters. If you want to play, you need to figure it out. But at the same
Well, no,
time,
they should verbally express
yeah,
how to go about it. Yes, 100%.
yeah. But at the same time, you gotta take the technology and what they tell you and make it work. My thought is because they're putting on a show, they could help provide some of these materials. But anyway, this is just us bantering about it.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. I just am always in favor if you're going to be putting on something that you help provide the materials to make it, because it'll make it function. You're going to be in control more. But at the same time, for now, beta 2.0 might be, hey guys, we're going to ask you to have 2 cameras, and here's how to make it work. And then as it progresses and this comes into, they can provide those materials. So it's all
that's true too.
A work in things. But I don't want to take up. I'm reading some of the comments here. Nothing too crazy out there. Tanner, I don't want to take up any more of your day. I appreciate you being on here. I do have to. So today is my birthday, and I guess most of you know that. But my kids, I was told I have to show these. So this is for my daughter. There was some fun money for Vegas in there because I'm going to Vegas here in a couple hours to learn more about YouTube. That was from Dylan. So my kids wanted me to show those off. So guys, it's out there forever now.
If I knew they were doing that, I would have sat here and paid them while we're talking.
I'm sorry. And I should have provided you the paper. And if I'm going to be fair about all of this, you're right. I apologize. Tanner, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Real quick, just to rattle this off, on Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I think it was her fault. She chose this. Not true. I picked it. I'll be in Vegas, so I had to do that. But Dawn Michon, who is a Canadian player, she'll be on. And then on the 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Kyle Anderson, yes, the Kyle Anderson, who just switched to shot darts, is going to be on. So we have PDC blood in the house. And then Louie Williams is on the 16th. He'll be on at 8 a.m. And if you don't know who Louie Williams is, Google him and go check him out. He just signed with Target Darts. He's one of their young, up-and-coming in their stable and an incredible darts player. And then the illustrious Darren Young on the 17th at 5 p.m., as well as I'm in talks with a number of other players, including some managers, to come on and hang out with us. I don't want to jinx it by dropping names, but Tanner, that's how I got you on here. So Larry Butler, I'm calling to see if you want to come on the show, just so you know. And there's some other players that'll hopefully be on the show. Tanner, thank you so much for last minute jumping on and hanging out with us this morning.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was actually really good. I was nervous, not going to lie, and you made it really comfortable.
I think you're going to work out. You're great on this. And as we know, you're going to start posting way more social media about darts, including White Horse, the jersey. Where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
Facebook is the biggest one. Okay. I do have Instagram, but again, I'm not on it very often. Just one of those things where I had it, but as soon as everything starts getting back to venues and stuff, I will start using the Instagram a lot for pictures and events and stuff.
So Facebook, here's a tip for you, Tanner, and for those that are out there. Since Facebook owns Instagram, if you go to Instagram and post there, you can link your Facebook page and just post on Instagram and it'll post over to your Facebook page. So
there you go.
So if you use Insta more and just link it to the Facebook page for darts related materials and use Facebook for more personal stuff, that's the stuff you share with the personal fans and all that. That would be my recommendation. So there's a bit for everybody. Use Insta for your pictures and your fun stuff and just link whichever ones you want to Facebook. Kill 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know that either.
So, reach out. If you got any questions, Tanner, please, you've got my contact information. Hit me up. I'll be happy to answer questions. That goes for everybody out there. If you got social media questions,
yes. Yes, I will absolutely do that. Thank you again for having me. I do have to say thank you again to Pat and Amanda at White Horse Darts. Really appreciate it. Great family darts. And Will for streaming and help me out a lot.
Yeah, good people, good people. Hey, Tanner, if you hold on one second, I'm going to close this show out, land this plane, and then I'll catch up with you kind of in the green room, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks again, Tanner. I'll see you in a minute.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Coffee and Darts with Tanner Picard. It was great having him on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. Go ahead and keep the conversation going on down below. I'll answer questions that show up, and I'm sure Tanner will come in and answer anything that you guys have. Follow him, check him out, Tanner Picard. Find him on Instagram. He's going to be there more so, and then find him also on Facebook. Thank you guys again. You got the list of who's coming on. Hang out, check those out. I'm heading to Vegas here in a couple hours to learn more about YouTube, to bring that and social media to you guys and get the focus on my camera better on my reviews, because I'll admit, not very good. So working on that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. Don't forget to check out Shot Darts at shotdarts.com. Check out the Kyle Anderson review when that comes out. And of course, Magicwear. I will see you guys on Wednesday, bright and early at 7 a.m. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the holiday if you're here in the America, because we're on vacation today. See you guys later. Thanks.